how do you start to disrupt a multi-million-dollar social media, social scheduling industry? Well, that's exactly what the founders at HypeFury are doing. HypeFury is a Twitter scheduling software, and it all started with a tweet back in 2019 when one of the co-founders put out onto Twitter asking if there were any apps that would allow him to schedule Twitter threads. Turns out there were no solutions, but it was something that plenty of people wanted. And that is exactly how HypeFury was born, to scratch their own itch, but to help service hundreds, if not thousands of other people to solve the same problem. It quickly transformed from a simple scheduler tool into a full automation tool. I've used HypeFury in the past and it is an amazing tool. However, I feel like their marketing on the front end doesn't accurately represent who they are and what they do, which is very, very common for SaaS brands. They're very hyper obsessed with the product and the technology, and they often give second thoughts, or not many thoughts at all, to the psychology and what makes people tick. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the 4 core conversion levers that HypeFury can inject onto their landing page to help get them more users to start using their amazing product. And it's something that you'll be able to start using on your business today.
Come on, tell me. I'm interested.
Okay, so this is the HypeFury landing page. We have the above the fold, we've got a call to action, great. Moving down, we've got social proof, we've got some feature benefit connections, and moving down the page, you think, oh yeah, cool. You know, it ticks the boxes, it has what it needs. One thing that's really interesting though, when you are using HypeFury, it's so cool and so elegant that the front end marketing is not an accurate representation of how awesome the product actually is. So as we come onto the above the fold, right? The most important real estate, AKA before somebody starts to scroll. We've got your personal assistant to grow and monetize your Twitter audience. So that's good because that's like building a like bridge. It's like this for this, or as Russell Brunson would call it, an epiphany bridge. So it helps me to start making a connection. Is it the right connection? Who knows? You would need to survey their audience and their target market to see what people actually liken it to. But it's a good way to start because it is a little bit different to other tools out there. And while they do allow you to do some Instagram and some LinkedIn, it is really for Twitter, and the power of it is being able to do the Twitter threads. So as we're looking above the fold, the main thing is here where we're making these claims to grow and monetize your Twitter. Well, the headline encourages the reader to keep reading. And now in my brain, I'm thinking, prove it, yeah? Like prove that. And going down, we never really prove this big claim. So a lot of the messaging on this page is a little bit confused, and it could be a lot clearer, right? It should have one clear big idea, AKA the dream outcome of the target market. Again, before I go into the 4 levers, just looking at above the fold as well, remembering that all imagery should serve a purpose, right? All imagery shouldn't just be there to fill up space, because that's what a lot of designers can do. They'll just chuck stuff on a page to take up space. It should all complement the copy and help to serve the purpose of the page, which is conversions. So if that isn't doing that, it is effectively a waste of space. And I think with this image above the fold, it is wasting space in our most important, most valuable real estate. So the first and most important conversion lever for this page that any one of you can use on your marketing today is to get target market obsessed. Now, it's often the unsexy side for SaaS founders and SaaS companies, right? Because they're super product obsessed, which is great. They're focusing on building a better product. But what is the point of having the best product or service in the world if nobody knows about it? So we need to remember that all that is gonna happen when somebody lands on this page is they're gonna screen it with, so what, who cares, what's in it for me? And they're effectively looking to solve a problem. Our target market is just in a crappy before state, and they're looking to gain entry into their desired after state, that dream outcome. So the very first thing that we do with SaaS clients is to survey their existing users. I know, revolutionary, right? But nobody does this. And we ask really, really strong qualitative questions to help us to understand the problem that they're trying to solve, how they put that in their words, amongst other things. But my number one favorite question to ask is, how would you explain HypeFury to a friend? Boom, marketing done. We can all go home now. So to recap this lever number one, it is understanding the audience and understanding in their words the dream outcome, so you can show and position who you are and what you do as a vehicle to get to that dream outcome. Number two is the golden hippo offer. Now, often for SaaS brands, they'll just say, hey, use it for free, try it now, 30 days pro, free. That's like a call to action. So you need to remember is like your offer is what you're giving in exchange for taking action, and it needs to be irresistible. So a big part of the offer is the software for these guys, right? Like, what do you actually get? And being really clear on those features. Now, going back to that survey, that would help us to find out, in the words of the target market, what they were trying to solve, so we can match those features up to the top of the funnel marketing, because there's going to be features that people naturally find when they start using HypeFury, but there's going to be, what is the conversation we're entering? What are they actually looking to solve? And so a big thing for these guys is that they do threads. Like, that was why I use them, is because I wanted to start on Twitter. I had under 100 followers and I wanted to start doing threads, and no one else did it. I stopped using them because I couldn't use all of my other social media accounts as well as I wanted to, so I went to something else. So with the offer, it's this like what you actually get in the software, but we need to remember, what are we trying to do? Well, on this page, we're trying to get them to just start using the product. So what can we give them away for free to take that action? How can we boost the perceived value higher than the perceived risk? And even though this is free, and it's great that we have some of this text under here, under the button to help remove the friction of the click, we need to remember that it still has to be higher in perceived value, because the cost is time. And what if it doesn't work? What if this isn't right for me? So instead of use for free, perhaps the call to action might be something like, start growing your Twitter today. It depends, right? What does the target market want and what is their dream outcome? I'm assuming it is to grow their Twitter, to get more followers and probably start monetizing it. So if it is to monetize it, why not give a guide or a course or a mini training on how to turn your Twitter and how to monetize your social media channels? Something like that. So to recap, number two, the offer, how can we make it irresistible to get started? Right now, use for free, not super irresistible. And because we haven't bolstered all of the features of the product to the dream outcome and contextualized the feature and benefits, right? Here's the feature, here's the benefit, here's how it makes your life easier. It makes it hard to understand what the product is and how it's going to help me. Conversion lever number three to help improve this page will be the positioning and the messaging. Now for the positioning, it's pretty easy, right? You understand the market category, you understand the true competitive alternatives. So what are people comparing you to in their brain? And then the market category helps to contextualize our differences. And then we want to understand our distinct differences. And then we want to understand our distinct differences. What makes us not just better, but makes us different? Why should somebody choose us? And currently on that page, it isn't super clear, especially here with our lead being the testimonials. You're actually making the user work to understand what you do. It's a lot of text, and it's cool that you have testimonials, but what is better to do, and this is conversion lever number 4, is using social proof with intent. Proof with intent, at least highlighting where you want to draw the eye. But let me show you. So I would change the headline to why, 3,000, whatever the identity is, Twitter, I don't know, growers, Twitter growers. What's the identity if you're on Twitter? I don't know. Use HypeFury to grow and monetize their audience, right? So always connecting it back to that dream outcome. And then if this was what came back in the survey, I would have grow your followers fast, monetize your Twitter, schedule content 3 times faster. Boom, how much of a difference does that make than just having this wall of testimonials? A wall of testimonials or a wall of proof has its purpose. Sometimes, like, you can go check out the Jasper AI page to be like that overwhelming proof. But this early on the page, we want to be tapping into that PASS system: problem, agitate, solve. We want to ensure that we understand their problem, agitate it, and then introduce the product as the solution. So here's a quick example with another client that we worked with where I'm talking about translating into this dream outcome, right? So we went from, after surveying their users and analyzing the data and asking good qualitative questions, getting target market obsessed, we went from being the ultimate cloud-based fiction writing software to join thousands of motivated writers' identity using the #1 book writing software to finally start and finish their novels. So after we had surveyed their existing customers and user base, it wasn't that they cared about cloud-based writing software, right? It was that they had this idea for a book in their brains that they've started and stopped, and they've got imposter syndrome, and they just want to finally finish this first novel, and then they want to get it published. So we were able to craft positioning and messaging to match that. But it all goes back to conversion lever #1, which is being target market obsessed. So team, those are the 4 conversion levers to plug into your own landing pages and that I would recommend for HypeFury to help get more users into their incredible platform. 1 is the target market, getting obsessed and understanding in their words how they describe their dream outcome. 2 is the offer, or what we call the golden hippo offer. How can you stack so much value that it feels like an absolute no-brainer to take the next step in your funnel? Number 3 is the positioning and the messaging. How can you make it crystal clear what makes you not just better, but different, and contextualize the core features into benefits and show how it's going to make their lives better? And finally, it is using proof with intent. Don't just slap on some social media or testimonial sliders. You can actually use your social proof to obliterate objections, to show, is it for me, and to help make your sales message even stronger. So team, I hope you enjoyed today's video going through the awesome product that is HypeFury, but how they can help to elevate their landing page and their marketing to help get more users. And remember, as always, knowledge is power, but without taking action, it is totally useless. So let me know in the comments, what was your #1 takeaway from today and what can you start actioning to help take your marketing to the next level? Speak soon.